Okay, 103.5 The Fox. Joining us now, a second round draft pick, Dalton Risner from Wiggins, Colorado. He's wearing his Wiggins football shirt today. Did you wear that in high school? Because it looks a little small on
Dad
you.
actually gave this to me. We didn't have shirts like this in high school. My dad gave it to me the other day. He gave me a double XL, so it's a little tight, man.
Yeah,
plus,
it looks like it.
plus this food's real good here, man. So I think
I
everything's getting a
know.
little tight.
I know. And I hear you have like 70 Wiggins people coming today.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's the last day that fans are able to come to camp, if I'm right. And we had I think we have 2 bus loads of people coming up from Wiggins. So a lot of
Nice.
elementary kids,
Nice.
high school kids. It's gonna be really, really cool.
I'm pretty big in Wiggins, so if they do want me to take pictures and sign autographs with them, I'll be here till 10 o'clock.
I'm sure they would, man. You're bigger than me. You act like you're not. but
Not
shoot.
anymore, man. No, I used to. I was the biggest thing in Wiggins until you came along. So, congratulations.
Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, he's telling the truth.
He's
telling the truth. So, I mean, your first camp, and it looks like, again, watching stuff that it's gone well. I mean, how would you say this has gone for you?
It's gone well, but I tell you what, every day I continue to get better and better. And I won't tell you guys I have perfect days because I don't. I won't tell you that I don't get beat on occasions. I learn every day because I do. And Munchak holds me extremely accountable along with my offensive line. But I think I've grown a ton from when OTA started. Like, when I look back from the day I started rookie minicamp to where I'm now, I think I've grown tremendously. But I have a lot of work left to do to get to where I want to be.
So you went to Kansas State. Let me ask you this. I'm not familiar. I mean, I know Coach Snyder,
Yep.
but I don't know who would have coached you in your career there. So far, as a rookie in the NFL, in an NFL training camp, as opposed to, a couple of years, your last couple of years at Kansas State, who has barked at you the most with respect to being a position coach, back in Manhattan or here?
I'd say that it's a lot different from college to NFL. So in college, my coach was down my throat. He'd do everything but, pretty much fight me. And Munchak is much more – he's going to let you practice. He's going to let you – whether you do good, he's not going to say a thing if you do a good play. He's not going to say a thing if you have a bad play. But when you get in the film room, that's when you're going to address it. He lets you go out here and practice. He's aware that you know when you're having a good play, when you're having a bad play.
Right.
And I respect that. I love my offensive line coach from college. He was with me for 5 years.
Who was that?
Charlie Dickey. He was there for all 5, and now he's at Oklahoma State as the offensive line coach.
Okay.
But let's just be honest. In practice, if you made a mistake or if you had a bust or an MA, you were going to know about it. And sometimes it was hard to deal with, but sometimes I needed that. At this level, Munchak, he won't say a word. But when you get in the film room, that's when he's going to start addressing.
Nice.
What did he say in the film room when they watched the block you threw on that Royce Freeman run, though? Come on.
You want to be honest? It was, there were some good blocks up front right there. That's the standard. That's what we expect. So
That's it.
It wasn't. You're an all. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
And I respect that from Coach. But every time you make a bad play, he's going to replay it about 15, 20
Yeah.
times and make sure that everyone knows. And he's not harder on me, but he likes to give me. He calls me Rook, so he likes to let everyone know that I'm a rookie and give me crap whenever I do something bad. But man, he pushes me to be better. And whenever he doesn't address that big block or whatever, and says that's the standard, that pushes me to say, yeah, that is the standard. That's what I need to do every single
Well,
play.
we call the games, and you should know you got big props from us on that block.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
50-yard run by Freeman, man. We could have ran through that hole.
I don't know about that, but
Well, maybe. I mean,
yeah, right?
maybe you could have.
Yeah, well, I don't even know about that. Dalton Risner's our guest. So now as you look at, and Rick had said this is like day 27 of this camp.
Yeah.
What give us 2 things that have maybe surprised you a bit in terms of your NFL indoctrination? Have there been a couple of moments where you've been like, wow? I mean,
Yeah.
wow moments for you?
For sure. I think one of the big wow moments for me is how we are treated like professionals. You hear like how you're treated like professionals, but you're actually treated that way. You get here, and if you don't want to show up to you don't have to, but you're not gonna have a spot on the team. You want to show up and have a bad attitude for practice. You want to show up, not study your film. They're not gonna have this itinerary where they have you every minute of every single day, making sure they know what you do. But you're expected to do that. You're expected to make sure you know your plays. You're expected to have a positive attitude when you're going to the lift or when you're in meetings and be everywhere on time. And if you're not, you're either going to get fined or you're going to find yourself on the street without a job. And I really respect that because sometimes in college, being there for 5 years, it was a little frustrating when you had guys show up that that weren't on the same mindset as you and didn't want to work like you. And then when they did something, they held the whole team accountable. And here, I just like the professional side of it, and that's been a big wow moment for me. Like, wow, we're actually treated like professionals, and they let us act like grown men, and we decide how good of a career we have. And I love that. And then number 2, I think, would just be playing alongside guys that, I'm blocking for Joe Flacco. I'm pretty sure I was in like 8th grade when that man won a Super Bowl. And, and I'm mixing it up, and he's a great guy. And that's the even cooler part is the type of guys that these guys are. They don't hold their head above anyone else's. Emmanuel Sanders, Von Miller. I've never seen, like, Von Miller in the cafeteria. Every day I'll see him sitting with someone new. So whoever's sitting by himself, Von will go sit next to him. And he doesn't have to do that. I think that's really, really cool. And I kind of people watch, and I think that's really, really cool to see a guy that is that big of a deal in the NFL be such a good leader on a team. And I could go on and on about different moments, but those 2 have probably been the biggest.
Awesome.
Living the dream, man.
Living the dream, man.
That's
Every single day. It's hard to, even though it's day 27 of camp and we had 5 weeks of camp, it's hard to walk out here and look at the Broncos and have fans and sit down here and have a bad attitude about it, man. It's tough.
That's great, man. It's great to meet a guy like you that really appreciates it and knows and understands the honor it is to play in the National Football League.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you get it. Thank you for coming by. I hope to talk to you again quite a bit throughout the season. This is Kathy Lee, by the way. She's pretty big in Wiggins herself.
Oh, yeah?
You're the only Asian that
I think you might be right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
for
man.
coming
I appreciate
by,
it.
man.
It was great to be on here.
Dalton
Thanks, Dave.
Risner.
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right, on the Rick Lewis Show.